Okay, we're here with Susan Spears for our third legislative
Third.
update. Yeah. How's everything going?
It's interesting this year. There's not a lot of public comment. We certainly haven't been going into the Capitol. Everything's virtual. It worries me a little bit, honestly, that we're not getting some of the dialogue that we might otherwise get. But things are happening. Just a couple things I'm going to mention too. Senate Bill 100, this is the taxpayer credit. This is going to increase the personal exemption and the taxpayer credit to $10,000 or the exemption to $3,113. I don't know how that number came up, but that bill is moving right along. I don't expect that we'll see any problem with that. The biggie of the day, I know I keep stringing you guys right along, but we finally are making some headway on this Paycheck Protection Program. If you recall, I've mentioned to you that back in August, Senate Bill 6005 was passed, and it clarified that Utah taxable income does not include forgiven PPP loans to the extent that the deduction for expenses paid with the loans are disallowed. So we got a curveball thrown at us when HB 133 was passed in December by President Trump. So this kind of threw the state into a little bit of a tailspin. So we did a little bit of research, did some digging. In Utah, just under 51,000 PPP loans were given. Of those, 6,500 were issued by lenders that were more than 150,000 to that $10 million cap, and 13% of the borrowers with loans over 150,000 account for 71% of the loan value. So what does that mean? In Utah, 164,000 business returns were filed in 2019. So the percentage of that money is really very small. So what we've been instructed by the Utah State Tax Commission, the legislators, the executive branch, is that for Utah state income tax purposes, the result of the December bill that was signed in Congress on December 27th, combined with Senate Bill 6005, that results in us being able to deduct the PPP expenses, so they're fully deductible. However, the forgiveness of the PPP loan that has now been converted to a grant will be added back to taxable income in the year of forgiveness. So what we're going to be seeing is in 2020, our data is showing that only 20% of SBA loans were forgiven in 2020. So for tax planning purposes or for planning purposes in your organizations where you're the controller or CFO, I would be planning for that add back of the forgiveness of the loan that will be reported on your 2021 tax return, or if you're involved in PPP2 or even impending PPP3, you could have add backs in 2022 or possibly even 2023. So keep that in mind. We'll still keep you tuned in. The Utah State Tax Commission has indicated that they will be coming out with updated instructions to returns, hopefully within the next 24 to 48 hours. So, Amy, I know that's a mouthful, but that's my report.
All right. Well, we'll check in again with you next week. Thanks, Susan.
Thanks.